The costing sheet is the main part of the estimating system. It's a big part and can take a little while to fully understand the power of it. Once you do, however, you will be able to sort, group and create costings faster than ever before. We will start on a blank costing sheet, on a new job that we have already entered the details for. We will also have the costing sheet in list view. If your costing sheet doesn't look like this, just simply toggle this switch to get to list view. We will go into that function further in detail later on. To start with, just press the new line from the costing sheet menu to put a new line onto the costing sheet. As we explain what each box does, we will put some example data into the system. On this first example, we will be adding a single manual line, but in a short while, we will add in a calculator to show other options. The first box is a selection box. This allows you to select multiple lines at once. This is for features such as deleting and duplicating lines, or creating a template or calculator from a costing sheet. We will show this later in more detail. The second item is a reorder button, which allows you to drag items up and down the costing sheet. To use, click on the button and then drag the line up and down the costing sheet. We will show this later when we have multiple lines displayed. This drop-down box tells the system what type of item the line is for. Click on it to see the options. These include material, labor, plant, PC sum or other. We are going to leave it at material for this example. This search button allows you to look up items from our library such as materials and labor, and also from your libraries once you start adding your own items. By clicking the button like this and starting to type, the system will start to display matches for you, and if you want to use the item, simply click on it. The description field is a multi-line text box. You can type whatever you want in here, or use the previous search button to use items in our database. This normally contains items like bricks, if it's a material, or a ground worker, if it's a labor item. The quantity field needs the amount of items you need to do the job. The lookup button on this row allows you to take measurements from the takeoff feature in the program if you have measured off plans. This is covered in more detail in another video. We will enter 10 items. The unit box displays the unit of measure for the line, for example, meters squared, linear meters, each, liters, hours, and days. We will enter linear meters or LM. The next line is the cost price per unit. Enter the cost price of the item. These next two boxes are optional, so do not have to be filled out. The section field is the section of works the line falls under, so for example it could be walls, foundation, electrical. Once you start typing, it will auto-suggest some preloaded sections, but you can just type in what you would like. The area is the relevant area that the item falls under, so for example, this line might be to do with the kitchen or bedroom. Once again it will auto-suggest, but again you can enter what you like. The line total is fixed and gives you the total cost of the line. The notes field is a larger area. This will not show up on the quote or documents that the customer sees and allows you to add notes as you need them to the line. We are now going to use a calculator to get some lines in quickly. Select the calculator double leaf, and then put in the following measurements: 10 linear meters long and 2.4 meters high. Once we have done that, press the Use Items on Job button to get the items onto the costing sheet. You will now see some new lines. These have all the items preset based on the information that you put in, but as with everything, you can just change them by clicking on them. We can now show some more advanced features of the costing sheet. If you look at the section, it's already filled in, but the area is blank. We could leave it like that, but I would like to put in another wall in another location so I can tell them apart on the quote. If I select all the items like this on the section, I can then bulk update the area by clicking this box here. This wall is for the garage. I enter it here, and then press Update. You will see that the area has now been updated. I can now add in another calculator for walls and assign it a different area. I will reselect the double leaf calculator and then enter some different measurements, 5 linear meters by 2.4 meters high. Once again, the lines appear on the costing sheet, and I will set these to kitchen in the same way as before. The slightly different colored lines are tasks. These are natural groupings of materials, labor and plant, and help you organize things in a logical way. You can see a subtotal for a task and you can move it just like a line. Once you start adding things to the costing sheet, it will become quite large, so there are two options for you to be able to manage it. The first way, in list view, is using the filters at the top of the costing sheet. These allow you to select any type, section or area to filter the costing sheet on and only display the selected item, like this. I am going to filter on the section and the area. If you add a new line with a filter set, it will automatically pick up the selected item and put it onto the line. I will do one here to show how it picks up the defaults. I will also drag it into the task using the Move Line button. To see everything, simply change it back to All on each of the filters. The second option is the Group View. If you look in the top left of the screen, there is a toggle button. We are going to click it to change the view to Group View. The Group View will let us see the same data in a different way. It just shows the data grouped by section and area. It makes it clearer to work on larger jobs. You will now see on the left-hand side the sections and areas grouped, with subgroups of area. You can click on the top-level groups to expand the sections below to drill down and click them again to close them up. If you like, you can change the grouping to area first by clicking the toggle at the bottom. It's up to you how you wish to show the data. Again, you can add a new line. It will automatically pick up the section and area of the current section and area, like this. You can still use the sheet in the same way with all features. We are going to switch it back now to the list view to finish up. If I have entered the item manually on a costing sheet, I might want to use it again on another job, so I can select the line and then press the Tools button and then the Copy to My Materials button. This will then put my new material into my library and will be available in the search function in the future. I can also export the selected information from the costing sheet by selecting the lines I want and then pressing the Tools button and selecting Export, either comma-delimited or PDF, like this. That concludes the costing sheet tutorial. As always, if you have any questions or feedback, we would love to hear from you.